Yo, 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 how y'all doing out there? Canada fans, US fans, fans around the world. It's your boy Denver right here.
Yes, sir. And it's your boy Josh Wagwan. Welcome to the Josh and Denver, the Denver and Josh podcast. We coming at you guys, live on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Um, man, we kind of missed a couple pods, bro, but we're gonna try and get back into it, fill you guys in on some updates around the NFL, of course. Um, Gotta start off the podcast, of course, with asking you, bro, how are you? Are you blessed, bro? You good?
Yeah, doing good. Took a few weeks off. I took a little break vacation there. Went to see the family and friends, came back. So, yeah, we're happy to be back. Everything is good. Like I said, same old same, still in NB.
Yes,
You know what I
sir.
mean? And how are you doing?
I'm blessed, bro. When you came down to visit the family, I had to come through and check you, bro. Um, yeah, bro, we also had to, catch up on some movies, bro. You already know, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, right? You gotta do that, you know? Yeah, we gotta give our reviews, bro. I feel like the podcast gotta hear our reviews in regards to the movie, bro. So I want to hear from you first. How would
Yeah,
you
man.
feel about the movie?
I definitely had an open mind to it. Like I didn't like going into it. Everyone was like, "Oh, it wasn't good. It wasn't what I was expecting." And I'm like, "Let me just not even look at any of the spoilers. I don't want people are talking about it. I said, don't tell me a word about it. I don't want to hear it. I want to go with an open mind." And so I did that, and I feel like I liked it. You know what I mean? Did I wanted to see like this is a little bit of spoiler alert, but did I want to see a few drops of like the Avengers or some other type of pre-clues to other stuff? Maybe, but for what it was, I think it was pretty good. I mean, obviously they had to figure out a way how to, in the storyline, how to shift away from Chadwick Boseman who passed away last year. RIP to him.
R.I.P.
And yeah, so I liked it. I liked it. I mean, obviously, like the last scene, I was like, okay, now it makes more sense. In the last scene, you can kind of go into that, but I had an open mind, so I liked it. Yeah, there could have been a lot more, but I mean, hey, with when Chadwick passed away, they kind of had to just. I feel like they had to rewrite the whole story,
Yeah,
right?
they did. They had to rewrite the whole script.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. What do you think about it?
So, I mean, you already know initially how I felt about it, and I think I said on the podcast that I was I wasn't the biggest fan of how they did it, but watching it the second time with you, bro, I appreciated it for what it was. Um, you know, especially since the movie was really a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, and looking at it through those eyes, you can appreciate that. You can, like, I felt the feels, looking at those old scenes of Chadwick, and just the whole ode that they did, the whole funeral scene that they did. I felt the feels in the second time watching it, so I really could appreciate that. And then also in the last scene, how they basically revealed to us, what the franchise is going to look like moving forward. And we actually are going to, I mean, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't watched the movie, you guys better watch it, but I'm about to spoil some things right
It's been
now.
like a month, dog.
We
Everyone should have watched it by now.
I
It's been
like
like almost two
y'all.
months now.
You're right. Y'all have better watched it already, bro. So I'm just gonna say it right now. Last scene, we see that T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman's character, had a son, and he's a T'Challa as well. He's a T'Challa Jr., basically, T'Challa the second. So we can see that basically the character is going to be revitalized. We're not going to see Shuri as as be taking over the mantle forever. I mean, for what she did in this movie, it was good for what it was, but I can't see Shuri being the Black Panther for future franchises. You know what I'm saying? I can't see her being the lead, the main character. I mean, she's a great actress, but to carry the mantle for future films and all of that, I'm probably gonna get bored. You know what I'm saying? Like we need another T'Challa. We got our second T'Challa. We're gonna see him grow up, and I'm excited for that. I do agree with your take though on, I wish that this movie seemed to be more connected to, the Avengers and the whole MCU, because it seemed like it was almost its own standalone film in the
Yeah.
franchise, in the whole MCU. It seemed like it was very separate from everything else. Like we didn't get any like upcoming spoiler or anything to kind of let us know what's going to happen next in the MCU. You know, like there was no hints of, you know, the quantum universe, which we would see from Ant-Man. You know, there was nothing really. It seemed like it was just happening in its own world, separate from everything else that happens in the MCU. So I wish that they could have included something a little bit more, but again, for what it was, I can appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Same here as well. I mean, maybe like in the next one, there might be like, you know, some Avengers dropping in because in the last, like you said, in one of the last scenes, you know, they basically they formed a union with the underwater, you know,
Hmm.
gods down there, right? And so, you know, they had a deal where they were gonna fight the world together, for example. So I'm thinking maybe if it's the world against, you know, Wakanda and the underwater, you know, world as well, then maybe like the one of the Avengers might come in to help them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. That I'm, you know, I'm guessing that. I don't really know because I don't really watch the comics, but that's what I'm guessing. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I liked it, like you said. Like you're right. I didn't really see. I mean, maybe she might still be like a side Black Panther, like a female Black Panther, and maybe like as we see the son grow up in the next movie, maybe she'll still be there, and they'll both be fighting like alongside each other until he's like grown.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. Like you had a good point after the movie where you said, oh, what's her name? She's like the next Iron Man, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
I didn't even bag that until you told me. I was like, you're right, because her suit is like Iron Man.
yeah, Ironheart.
Basically, she's the new Iron Man, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so we get like this movie introduced Riri Williams, who is
Right.
um basically her character plays Ironheart, or her like Riri Williams is Ironheart. So she's like our very own Black female Iron Man, but you know, again, of course, female version, right? So
Yeah.
um yeah, she's gonna I think she's gonna have her own Disney Plus series, so there should be
Really?
something, yeah, upcoming in the works within the MCU for that. Um that's gonna be interesting to see, and interesting to see how she's incorporated in the whole universe as well. And then when we get into the later Avengers as well too. So
Yeah.
again, everything that is, you know, um upcoming, or you know, with the individual movies like Ant-Man Quantumanium, and you know, future movies and Disney Plus series coming forward or moving forward, is going to be setting up the next Avengers, right? So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, which characters are going to be, you know, forming together and coming together to fight against evil again. It's all setting up to face against I believe the main villain that they'll be facing is, what's his name, Kang. So that's going to be a character played by Jonathan Majors. So it's going to be, there's going to be like two Avengers, I believe, in this new phase of Marvel. It's going to be Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. So again, this is all coming from, because I watch a lot of like
Yeah.
Emergency
Trailer.
Awesome and like New Rock Stars. I watch a whole bunch of trailers. I mean, I didn't always keep up with the comics myself, but I watch channels that really do keep up with the comics, and they give their you know, views on, you know, what they anticipate to happen next in an MCU. So basically that's where I get my intel from. But I'm excited to see, you know, how the Avengers move forward, and you know, who's going to be coming together and fighting against Kang, the new big bad guy after Thanos.
Yeah, definitely same. Like there's so much like if you guys watch Marvel movies like we do, like now there's just so much content about it because there's not just the movies that Avengers. Now it's like you said, like Riri Williams, Ironheart, everyone has kind of their own Disney Plus series. So you gotta watch like the Disney Plus shows, and then because the shows will lead into the movies that all tie
Exactly.
into the
All ties
multiverse or
in.
the quantum verse, or so it's so much content to just watch. That's why like sometimes, you know, it's so hard to keep up. But I mean, like you said, it's good to watch trailers and read about, okay, this happened in that series. So you don't always have to watch all of them, but like that can help, you know, if you watch all those Disney Plus series. I know like, you know, even like what was that Disney Plus series that just came out on Marvel that you kind of have to follow to see the
Yeah,
next movie.
I believe there was She-Hulk, of course.
Yeah, okay.
And then they introduced it was Miss Marvel. It
Yeah,
was
Miss
Miss
Marvel.
Marvel. And then I believe there's like a Guardians of the Galaxy like Christmas edition series. So it's like a short mini series that's also on there. Um I know
Wow,
it's
it's so much to keep up
they're
with.
pushing out so much. Like Marvel is such a like they're a machine right now, bro. Just
Yeah.
pushing out bare content. It's so hard to keep up. Just like you said, bro. It's really hard to keep up. Like it gets overwhelming at times. So I mean, I think yeah, best thing to do is yeah, read up on things if you're gonna try to keep up. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna advise that you try to keep up with all the miniseries and everything that on Disney Plus because it's a lot of content for sure. But maybe again, reading up on things, watching New Rock Stars or Emergency Awesome, those are good channels. They're good for breaking down things, so you're able to understand the plots of what those miniseries are have been and what they're pushing towards for upcoming movies and future Avenger movies. So yeah, man, that's really the only way to actually successfully keep up unless your whole life is going to be consumed with Marvel. You know what I'm saying?
We have lives, dog.
Yeah,
So
because
hard, bro.
they're pushing out a lot of things, bro. It's a lot to you. Where do you even find the time, bro? Where do you find the time to watch every single thing? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, crazy. I mean, that's why like primarily we keep up with the movies. Like I know the next movie, like Marvel movie is Ant-Man, I believe, right? And
yeah,
after
yeah, that's the
Ant-Man
next
is
one.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be one right after.
Yeah, so those are the next two Marvel movies coming out. So we'll definitely check those out when they come out. We're definitely MCU guys. But yeah, I mean, that was our take on Black Panther. I mean, if I were to give it a grade out of 10, I would say 7.5.
That's a
Because
good
I
grade.
liked it. It wasn't like, whoa, but I say 7.5 out of 10 stars. How about you?
That's a good grade, bro. I give it, yeah, like a seven, a solid seven.
Yeah.
Man, it's just, when it comes to Wakanda Forever, bro, it's like I appreciate it for what it is, but it's always gonna be compared to the first one, and the first one was monumental. Like the first one, like I told you that, when we linked up, bro, I watched Black Panther, the first one the other day, and I'm like, wow, like that movie was really just pure genius. Like everything, like the script, everything, Chadwick Boseman's performance, everything, Michael B. Jordan's performance, bro. Like there's
Yeah.
like what more could you ask for the first Black Panther movie, bro? So that one it holds so dearly in my heart that it's hard to find another. It's going to be hard for another Black Panther movie in the franchise to ever beat that one. So in comparison to the first one, I'll give it a 7. The first one is going to definitely be like a 9.5, 10 in my eyes. So good 7 as compared to the 9.5 is, I think that's pretty decent, right?
Yeah, that's a good score. I mean, you liked it. It wasn't like, the one of the greatest movies you saw. I think for both
Exactly.
of us, I think for me, the best movie I've seen so far all year was Top Gun. I haven't seen Black Adam yet, but for me, it's Top Gun. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
same here.
that's my perspective on movies I've seen this year. I don't know about you, if that's the best movie you've seen all year as well.
Yeah, bro, I agree with you. Nothing's beating Top Gun right now, bro. Top Gun was so well done. Yo, if y'all haven't watched Top Gun, what are you doing? Like, like that's literally a grade A movie right there. You even got to watch the first one to watch this second one right here. Again, it's such a huge time gap between the first one and the second one, but they did this one great. I wasn't anticipating that it'd be so good. I mean, like I really wasn't hyped for it at all. Like Top Gun, I'm just like literally watching the trailers, when they were trying to hype up the movie initially, I was like, I've seen the whole movie in this one trailer right here. Why do I need to go see this? Like don't go based on that judgment. Like watch the movie. It's great. It's a great screenplay. Um Actors do wonderful in it. I mean, it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, so I mean, in the comments, y'all can let us know what y'all think about Black Panther. What would you grade it at 7 out of 10? And what was your best movie that you saw this year? And I mean, let us know. I'll link that in the description. Let us know in your comments. And we love to talk movies here, but we also like to talk NFL here as well.
Of
And
course.
got some big games coming up tomorrow. And a lot of games to talk about, man. A lot to talk about. A lot of headlines. I don't know where you want to start off the hottest topic.
Yeah, let's
You
talk
know,
about Thursday night football, bro. Let's talk
just
about what
saying,
happened.
reading my mind, man. Your boy Baker.
Yeah, you already know we on the same page.
I
We
mean,
should
I
have
hear.
like a little like the ESPN the ESPN instrumental that for Baker Chronicles because
Yeah,
it's gonna be our little Baker segment.
yeah,
Bruh, so I believe it was earlier this week. Was it Tuesday? Was it Tuesday? It was
yeah. He
Monday
got
or
cut.
Tuesday
He got
that
cut
that
on
Baker
Monday.
was cut.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah,
cut on Monday
Monday.
and he got cut Tuesday.
Mm. So Baker got cut from the Carolina Panthers. Just didn't seem like the best fit for him. Got benched a couple times already in within his tenure in Carolina. Um, it seemed like teammates around him weren't rallying around him. Didn't really believe in him. So he gets cut, then claimed off of waivers by the Los Angeles Rams. They all, what's funny to me? The Los Angeles Rams seem to be a team that helps, or they're a good team to help players be reborn. Again, this was a kind of similar story with Odell Beckham. When Odell Beckham was released from the Browns, he was revitalized in Los Angeles. We can see the same sort of thing with Baker. It's strange how the Rams can do that. But it's interesting, just this whole storyline, bro. So Baker is claimed off of waivers by the Rams on Tuesday. They have a game on Thursday. So Baker is basically on the Los Angeles Rams for all but 48 hours, right? We're anticipating in the game against the Raiders that this is an easy win for the Raiders, right? I mean, Los Angeles hasn't been doing too well. They've been a disappointment. The backup quarterback that they had, I think it was Wolford, not the best quarterback at all. And of course, we didn't think that we were going to see Baker much in that game because Baker's only been with the team about 2 days. How much of the playbook would he really have learned, right, in those 2 days, right? Maybe he'd be in for maybe a 1-2 package or whatnot, but we weren't anticipating to see him, and we're thinking this is going to be a walk in the park for the Raiders. Little did we know that Baker quickly gets thrown into this game. I don't know what quarter did he get in on?
First quarter, they only gave Wolford the first series.
First series, right?
Didn't
They
throw a
throw
pass.
Baker in. Tell me how Baker rallies the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, Raiders were up, like 13-3 or something like that. Tell me how Baker rallies the Rams and comes back for a final score, bro. Like, to win the game. It was what, 17-16?
Yeah.
How? Like, this is like literally just a script in a movie, bro. How?
So I'm
How
saying,
did how? Like, first of all, Baker literally practiced with the team what, once?
yeah, and that was a walkthrough practice. It wasn't even like a practice. It was a walkthrough.
How? How did he have, like, to be thrown in there? How did he have any, like, I don't get, as a, like, again, as a quarterback, right? To have like the snap count or the timing between you and your center. You know what I'm saying? How do you have any sort of chemistry with your receivers at all, built at all at this point? Like, you don't know these people. You don't know where they're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yet he was actually able to play a solid game, bro. Like, it's different. Like, I don't even know how this happened. Like, I guess I gotta give kudos to Baker, really, because
Got it.
like, I got to, and it hurts me to do that because, as y'all know, I'm sure the podcast thinks I'm a true Baker hater, but this guy actually did phenomenal. Like, 22 for 35, 230 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, it was enough to win the game, but truly those stats shouldn't have been like they should have been much worse just based on the lack of time that he's had with this team, the lack like having no report receivers. I'm still trying to get how he had like any sort of type of timing at all with his center snap count. Like there should have been a whole bunch of penalties or whatnot, just whole bunch of not being on the same page, but it worked out. Bruh.
The game was
Shout out to Baker Mayfield. Shout out to Sean McVay for, I don't know if he simplified the offense real.
sure.
Yeah, like just said, yo, okay, we're gonna run this concept. Like he's not even calling plays by the actual play call. He's actually just saying we're gonna run a gout, or we're gonna like just throwing concepts at him. And if you see this coverage, throw it to this guy. Like I swear that's probably what Sean McVay was saying in his ear the whole night. But just the way that it like, just the fact that it was even executed is crazy to me. I know I rambled on, but like that just tells you how much of shock that I was in. Like I'm still in shock to this day. So like literally. So yeah, bro, that's my take. I know I rambled on, but it was crazy. What do you think
Yeah,
about the whole thing?
that was a good take. Like I definitely like same as you. Like the ability to get off the plane get to LA on Tuesday, get the playbook, and we all know if you play football past high school, the playbook is like, this thick. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty thick playbook. You know what I mean? And so he got there. I think they said he ran walkthroughs and ran 20 plays through walkthroughs. So not even live practice, it was like walkthroughs. And then gets in the game. I guess there was a theory that if Wolford, we're gonna give Mayfield looks sometime in the game, but they didn't even let Wolford throw a pass. Man, they ran 3 run plays on the first series, and then Baker Mayfield took over in the second series. So like they knew they're gonna go. They weren't gonna give Wolford a chance.
The
And
man didn't have no chance. Crazy.
But I mean, he started the last 4 or 5 games. So I mean, I think they have their tape. And the Rams are probably like, we've seen what we've seen. We think he has a ceiling. He could be a backup quarterback, Wolford. We don't think he can he hasn't won. They've lost how many games with him? Like I said, it's not all in the QB. The defense hasn't been playing the best. Like you said, Aaron Donald's out. A lot of injuries on the defensive line. They lost Von Miller, went to the Bills. And so a lot of changes, but yeah, I mean, for him to come in on basically 2 days' notice, show up to the game. I'm pretty sure they're in vanilla offense, which is a pretty good point that we got to kind of mention as well. Like, QB is such a hard position that you have to know so much, not just to play, but you got to know, the coverages. You got to know when to shift the line, when to call the mic. You know what I mean? When there's so much variables you have to do in that offense, right? Because Sean McVay probably runs a complicated offense, right?
Oh yeah, for
For
sure.
him to vanilla the offense down, but like you said, tell him on this play, if you see this coverage, throw it. If you don't, throw it away. Then that's a testament to how hard it is to be a QB. Like when you keep vanilla, you can kind of see QBs just play kind of like backyard football, how they grew up. You know what I mean? Just go out there and play. Have all these plays, all these responsibilities. Now football gets harder, especially from a QB position. So just kudos to Sean McVay for calling that game as well, and they were sticking in there because even before the comeback, he wasn't playing that bad. You know what I mean, based on what he was given, like his main target was Skronik, number 18.
Yeah, Skronik and what's his name? Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson. It was his top 2 targets,
And
no
Tutu
chemistry at
Atwell.
all. It's crazy. And so yeah, that was impressive. The last drive going 98 yards. Yeah, there was a few penalties on that play. On that drive, but still that pass, he made some dime passes in that game. That last pass of Van Jefferson was a dime.
Yeah,
Right on the money.
But bruh.
So I mean, that's NFL. That's NFL. That's Baker Mayfield. We talk about it. He's not consistent. To be honest, he has talent. To throw those throws, and not a lot of QBs can make those throws. So you can see there's talent there, but it's just the consistency level, and maybe him being humbled, being cut by the Browns or traded by the Browns, cut by the Panthers. Maybe now he's so humbled, and now he knows, okay, this was really his last shot, bro. Everyone was saying he's the next Johnny Manziel. After he got cut on Monday, everyone was saying bust Johnny Manziel, Marcus Russell. everyone's saying Ryan Leaf, all these number one picks that are bust.
All them busts, all the
I'm
busts
like,
in NFL history.
damn, this is not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
One game career is like revolted back up, right? So I'm interested to see how he plays the last, like, I think there's like 7 games left. Yo, this is his last. I think like these 7 games are gonna determine like his NFL career, dog. Like, what do you
Oh,
think? Like, he
definitely.
has to play well. like,
Yeah.
man, it's crazy, man.
I agree with you, bro. This really is gonna, it's a make it or break it time for Baker. And especially since, like his future in NFL is so murky. Again, he's been brought in due to the injury that had occurred with Matthew Stafford. We don't know if Matthew Stafford, you know, we don't know if his career is basically done in the NFL due to the injuries that he has experienced. I mean, he may very well say, "Hey, yo, I want to come back another year, duke it out." Last year, this year basically has been riddled with injuries, but I believe I got more years in me. So, is Baker going to still remain in LA for for years to come and become the backup, or is he going to play this year in the Rams, become a free agent again, get picked up by another team to be some sort of journeyman quarterback and fight for another starting position? Like we don't know how his future is going to play out. We don't know how it's going to uh, um um succumb, right? So honestly, he has to do the best that he can with the few games that he has right now, in a starting position, to kind of show what he's got, to show teams out there if they're looking, or to show the Rams, to justify to keep him basically past this year. So it's a make it or break it time for him, to basically revitalize his career, because I mean his career has been on a trending downward slope. He's built up a reputation where players don't really want to play for him. They think he's self-centered, doesn't take accountability, that type of guy that just seems like he's just more about the TV commercials instead of um playing well and winning football games. So this is his time. I do want to touch on the Raiders, bro, because again, this game was actually a must-win game for them to actually have a chance of being in the playoffs, because they already had a pretty up and down, not the best type of season, right? But this loss definitely kicks them out of the playoffs. And a stupid loss. I mean, like, if you think about it, this actually should have been a walk in the park for this team. I like I blame it on, like, their defense is actually disgustingly trash. Like, I don't get how you are playing press coverage on the last play, like literally where Baker is throwing that touchdown pass to Van Jefferson. Why are the DBs pressed at the line when you know that they have to get a certain amount of yards to make this comeback? Why are you, like, you shouldn't let anything get behind you? Why are you playing press? Like, does that make any sense? Like, I don't understand. Like, just questionable defensive calls, I guess, or defensive plays that put these guys, like this team, at odds. I mean, Max Crosby and sorry, yeah, he's been balling, but he can't do it by himself, right? So literally, like, he's literally working his ass off just to save the DB core, because that DB core he knows behind him ain't covering nothing. Straight up, like straight up. So, man, get some DBs on the back end, bro. Like, this defense could be so much better if they had some, like, a solid DB core on the back end. They got a solid pass rush with Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, but they can't do it alone. Sucks for them, because I know, like, literally this is not what man's like Devontae Adams came to this team for. He definitely didn't come to the team to lose. He came to play with his college quarterback again, but he came to help them win. I mean, you thought that I mean, like, their connection, it's amazing. Like, the way that Devontae Adams is working against Jalen Ramsey, you could tell he is he's the real deal. He's the GOAT, bro. Best wide receiver in the game, undoubtedly. But that defense, bro, is really a weak point, and that's why they out of the playoffs now, bro. Sucks.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, the Raiders are a question mark, dog. Like, I mean, like, I know McDaniel was trying to keep the game balanced. That's what he did. Carr only threw the ball 20 times. They ran the ball to Josh Jacobs 27 times. They want to run the ball with Josh Jacobs and give him balance. But I feel like that kind of let them back in the game. Like, they're playing like they're up 16-13 after the first half, and they played like, let's just run the ball to the win. Like, let's just run it. Let's just keep running until we win the game. Kind of run down the clock. But you kind of have to have that killer instinct. Like, you kind of have to push the ball down the field, go for the throat, put them away. Like, yeah, and balance is great, but sometimes you don't want to keep a team in and give them momentum, right? So that's what they did. Definitely costly penalties in the last two series of the game. Get that lineman just knocked the ball out of his hand. Like, what was that? Like, it was just like crazy things were happening.
No discipline.
And like you said, like you have to know that last series, like they have no timeouts. You can play zone, keep them within, on the grass, tackle them. The clock's gonna run. They have no timeouts, right? They make it really hard to go man. Even Baker Mayfield said, I think his post game interview, he said, "I can't believe they played man on that one play that he threw to Van Jefferson for the touchdown." He's like, he was shocked. Everybody was shocked. Like, what is going on? And
bro, who is calling the defense? They need to be fired.
I have no idea, but like the defense has just been off this year. Like, I don't think it's just on the DCs, also on the talent they have. They just need to like get more dogs in there. I know they cut Abrams half of the year. Their first round pick that they drafted like 3-4 years ago, their safety, Jonathan Abrams, I believe got cut like 4 weeks ago.
He got cut. I didn't even realize. I thought he was hurt the whole time.
I think he got released, dog. I don't think he's there.
Shoot, damn.
But like, yeah, but like
he was a thumper though.
Yeah, but I think he had problems with coverage, dog. That's the whole
Yeah,
problem.
that's true.
Coverage.
Yeah,
he's more of like he's more of like a linebacker in a safety's body, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's crazy. Like the way the game started, I was like, oh man, here our boy Jalen Ramsey getting cooked again. Like I was scared because like you see that one catch by Devontae Adams,
the
like,
one hand,
and like Jalen Ramsey's hand was like covering his visor, and he still caught it, and then he cooked him again on the next play. I said, oh man, this is not gonna be a good game for him. Supposed to be a shutdown corner.
Jalen Ramsey about to get exposed, bro.
I was like, what's going on this season? This man keeps getting like cooked. And then the second half, I don't believe he gave up one catch to Devontae Adams. So shut him down the second half, but that first half was not looking good. Nah. Every time it was one-on-one coverage. I think they were playing a little bit of zone in the second half, safety over top. I don't think that's a whole different debate, but I just don't think this year is his year in terms of man-to-man coverage. He can still play great. He's still a thumper in the run game. John Ramsey, he's one of the corners that actually gets in the run game and like can lay out big hits, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But man-to-man coverage, I don't know. I don't think they should be doing that anymore. Like him just playing straight man against the best receiver. Like,
bro, I said it. I said that too, bro. Like I remember like earlier podcasts, like I said, yo, like this man, the days of him being considered a shutdown corner are done. It's over. Like have him in like a like more of a star, like playing the star position role, where he's more in the slot, he's more in that hybrid safety / corner role, more involved in the run game, plays more zone coverage. Putting him on the outside, like those days like are done. You shadowing a receiver, that's not even a thing, bro, because you're gonna get cooked. Like let's cater to your skill set. You are more aggressive, more, can help in the box a little bit, help in the run game, right? Play a little zone with, in the back end a little too, right? Yeah. Let's keep you in that, do what you're good at, maybe rush you a little bit too, because you can get some sacks. You're pretty decent at rushing the passer as well, right? Let's do that instead of, because you on an island it's not a thing. It's not unfortunately, it's not a thing, bro. And that's okay. Like, like that, that's okay. You can still be a great player at what you're still a great player, and you can still be good at those other things. Don't need to be, one-on-one.
But that's what he's getting paid for. But he's like, I think stars the best work from playing that dynamic position, can move
Mhm.
him all around the field, kind of how we saw with like a lot of different guys like Rondé Barbers.
Yeah, Rondé Barber did that.
You can play on the outside too, but you play everywhere. You follow tight end. You know, you do everything. You could be everywhere. You're basically that one guy that's, that's a removable piece everywhere on the field. You know what I mean? So that's definitely, I think that you're right. That's the best position for him. But they're paying him to be a lockdown, shutdown corner. That's the
That's the
problem.
thing. He tricked everybody. That's what it is, right?
Oh man, but yeah, like I would be getting feeling bad because he was getting cooked. 1-to-1 coverage. It was press coverage too off the line. Just he couldn't jam at the line. Adam
Mhm.
got a free release, and I playing DB. We both know this. A free release, game over. Like man to man, you're playing catch up. You know what I mean? You're playing show
Yeah.
technique. That's a tough position to be in. But
But Devontae is like a wizard with like the late hands, bro.
yeah,
It's hard to defend that because if you're gonna try to play his hands, bro, the hands are coming up so late. Like it's literally coming right when the ball is like literally like
yeah,
it's like you won't like as a DB if your back is turned, you have no idea like when the ball is coming and when you see the man put his hands up to catch the ball, he's so quick to bring it into his body that
yeah.
it's already it's done, bro. It's like Devontae is different, bro. And his like his change of speed, his route running, he's bruh. I just wish that I mean he's been having a great season, but I just wish that the team had more success for his case because he's been balling.
Yeah, he started off slow, but he's still like top 3 in receiving yards, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. I know definitely top in touchdowns and touchdown receptions right now.
It's crazy. He can be good with anybody, but the problem is winning, right? So
Yeah.
they're not winning. But yeah,
And
that's yeah,
yeah. Honestly, yeah, I feel also, I mean, Josh Jacobs have also been making a case for himself, in the run game. You know how the Raiders declined his fifth-year option. He's really making a case to making the Raiders, eat their words and he's definitely playing some great football to help his contract situation moving forward. So shout out to Josh Jacobs as well. Like their offense is like they have pieces, especially with the injuries, even with the injuries of Hunter Renfro and Darren Waller, like those guys going down, they still have key pieces. Like this game should have been a win for sure. Offensively, it's like you said, bro. You can't take the foot off the necks, bro. Like you can't play too conservative in this league, even against not even the greatest of teams in the NFL, because anyone can win. This is a testament, bro. Any team can win. This is not like college football, bro, where you're blowing out teams like no matter how, like no matter what. Like literally NFL teams, even the worst of NFL teams will get you on your bad day. Like they will win against you. So don't ever like the conservative thing should not be a thing, bro.
yeah. And I think they're 5-8 now. So I mean, there's 18 it's 18 game schedule now. So technically, they could win their next. They could win their next 5 games and go 10-8, but that's a stretch.
Yeah,
That's a
it's a
stretch.
stretch. And then I think because of their division, like I think that they're straight just out the playoffs because of this loss. I think from what I'm hearing, but I don't know.
So let's see how it plays out. But they have to win out. It's the only thing, and they have a tough schedule. They're in a tough division, AFC West. That was the Raiders Rams game. So that was a pretty good ending, a pretty good game on Thursday, which usually aren't good games because the Amazon games have been terrible this year.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, what's some good games coming up? I mean, slate Jets Bills. You have Mike White taking over for Zach Wilson, who got benched. But we talked about it all year, so we ain't even surprised. I'm not surprised being a Jets fan. This man was throwing for like 100 yards a game. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
we're winning, but like, what's going on with this passing game? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not even surprised. Like, there's been no production from a passing standpoint, and Mike White comes in. His first game,
Those 300 yards, no?
yards. I'm like, something's up. Like, is that you just? I don't know. Like, and he was super cocky after the game that his last game he started. He blended
Mhm.
on like he didn't take no accountability.
Yeah.
Definitely a learning experience for him, but I don't know if he's gonna start this week. They're not sure if it's Mike White or Zach Wilson. I think it might be Zach. It might be Mike White again. But Yeah, just Jets Bills, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's funny. We didn't get to talk about that whole Zach Wilson situation, with him getting benched, due to his poor performance against. I don't know if it was it against Baltimore. I don't even remember what game it was against. Um, but yeah, Zach Wilson's been averaging 100 yards passing. Um, for a a first round, second pick overall talent, he should be much better than this. Um, Apparently, also, just with him coming out of college, the few knocks on him have been that, he's been an entitled kid, you know what I'm saying? Like an entitled prick, as they would say. Um, he was also never voted team captain while in college, which is also a red flag. As a quarterback and a leader of a team, you've never been voted team captain. That is a pretty big red flag. That just kind of tells you, the character of the guy. So it should come to no surprise, actually, the way that he answered those questions after the loss, after throwing 100 yards, and just like it should come to no surprise that he didn't take any accountability and said he doesn't feel like he was responsible for the loss at all. He thought that he played well. It's like, no, you didn't, bro. It's really like, no, you didn't. Like, you're trash, bro. You've been holding the team back straight up, and you're gonna say no, you had no hand in that. Like, you're really not a leader. You're really the entitled prick that's come out of college, out of BYU, that the Jets basically looked past and still drafted you anyway. Um, so literally, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, bro. You gonna say that, you're gonna get benched. Literally, the next game, right, where he gets benched, he doesn't even dress. Literally, coaches made that decision straight up. I think that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Enter in Mike White. Mike White, like, bro, that kid is balling, bro. That kid is balling. He's actually a little spark, and I feel like the team actually it's like um they're more able to rally around him. I think they more have more belief in Mike White. They're a fan of him, actually. And compared to Zach Wilson, I think Zach Wilson has lost the locker room. So yeah, bro, literally Mike White, you can see it's clearly night and day. The way that he enters in, throws 300 yards, Garrett Wilson starts to produce, like Braxton Berrios, all the receivers, that they have in their locker room, right? They show what they can do, right? So it's literally, I think Zach Wilson's just not the answer. He has some growing up to do. I wouldn't throw him in. I actually shut him down for the rest of the year. I don't know, but maybe that wouldn't do the best to his confidence either. So I don't know how the Jets are going to move forward. I don't know if you have further intel about them, about, is if he is going to be returning to the starting lineup, but this is not his team, bro. He's not the answer. Definitely has some maturing to do.
Yeah, definitely agree. I think he's gonna be out for the rest of the year. I mean, like you said, they have Flacco. We have Flacco as the backup, Mike White as a starter. I think that's how it's gonna be the rest of the year unless one of those guys gets hurt. But I think he's done for this year. Like you said, I think, like you said, like they want him to reevaluate, see, like this is how you run the offense. This is the throws you should make in this offense. And he just wasn't making the plays where he had to. He wasn't pushing the ball downfield. He wasn't doing his right reads. Like it was really weird because he had a lot of confidence coming on. So usually guys with a lot of confidence, you know, they push the ball a lot down the field, but he's just been not making the right plays all year round, not making the throws he's supposed to be. And Mike White comes in, first game killed it. Second game, we lost to the Vikings, but that's a top team.
Mm-hmm.
But,
And
yeah,
he still
like,
put up yards though. Like, he was still
yeah.
in that game to give them a chance to win.
And that's what we need. We need in the playoffs. If we make it, we need offensive production. We can't have a quarterback throwing 100 yards in a game. Like, that's not gonna win games.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely
our
not.
defense is not like spectacular. We have a really good defense, but we're not like the Ravens 2000. You know what I mean? We're not like we're not like that dominant of a defense. So we need the offense production as well. And Like I said, I hope it's a learning experience, right? Like I said, I heard a lot of those same things. He's entitled, always was a starter. It's very rare that you're not a captain, especially in college and the
Yeah,
QB.
like that's shocking. Like
Yeah,
as a quarterback, you know?
it's always good where he was, but I mean, it's not just being good. You have to actually like bring leadership to the team as well, right? And
Exactly.
that's what they need, right? So hopefully he learns it. As learning experience comes back, it might be a QE battle in training camp next year, but take the year as a learning experience and try to come back next year stronger. But it definitely looks bad, David. He's our number 2 pick, dog. It looks real bad right now. So
Hmm.
yeah, man. Hopefully another tough game against the Bills tomorrow. Another L. So I
It's gonna be
mean,
hard.
in Buffalo.
Yep, it's gonna be hard. We'll see about that game. Shout out to your Jets though. You know, I think that they're really they've really turned things around though. So I can't take anything away from the Jets, bro. And they're making the decisions that will help them moving forward. Like again, the benching of Zach Wilson, they know they're really trying to win now. They're not gonna, you know, settle for this, you know, mediocrity from Zach Wilson. They're literally they're making moves. I can appreciate that from your Jets franchise, and I can appreciate that from the front office and your coach Robert Saleh making those decisions, because those are tough decisions. I mean, to bench your star, your franchise quarterback, um, I mean, it's tough, especially since he is so young, and this could very well, you know, if you are saying that he's the guy and then you bench him, this could affect his confidence really, or this could make him want to come back and play even harder and, you know, work on some things. So we're hoping for the best, but for what the Jets are doing right now, I think they're making the right decisions.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like we have a bright future. We just gotta, make sure all the guys that are young guys that we drafted are living up to their potential.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike White balls out. Like I would choose Jets to win that game, dog.
Oh wow. Bro, I'm not going with the Jets, unfortunately. Even though they are doing well, I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think Josh Allen needs to get back on that little spree that he was on, you know, like he was definitely, you know, in the MVP race early on in the season, and he's kind of fallen off a little bit. Um, and
Yeah,
he's just been barely winning games, putting his body way too much on the line. I think he needs to really chill with that to hopefully he
come
settles
back.
down. I'm hoping that he settles down and you know, decides to, you know, make some better throws, better reads in the pocket, you know, throw more touchdown passes instead of sacrifice his body every 5 seconds. I think the Jets, I think the Bills really need this win, especially with this being a divisional game. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills, bro.
Go to Jets, make White balls out, get the upset.
Okay, I like it. I like it. You know what's a big game? Chargers and the Dolphins, bro.
Gonna say
Tua
who wins it now.
against Justin Herbert.
It's a big game.
It's a big game for sure. And especially since, I mean, yo, Tua's actually killing it in Pro Bowl votes right now. Um, it shows how much belief does in a quarterback's performance, you know, like how much belief really weighs in a quarterback's performance. Man, if only Brian Flores said he was all in with Tua from the beginning, Tua would have
Yeah.
been way more developed than he is now, and he's balling right now. But if Brian Flores had all the belief in the world from the beginning, Tua would have been in a much better situation, right?
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
he probably like we probably would have been talking about him like how we talked about Burrow and Justin Herbert and all, you know, all those QBs in that rookie class,
That's
right?
insane.
We like we were talking about him like he was a bust, and he really wasn't bad, bruh. He just needed the coaching staff to really just be like, yo, you are the guy. We know it's you. We believe in you. Like, we got you at the end of the day. Bruh, literally the man is balling. You gave him weapons, you gave him Tyreek Hill. He has Waddle. He has a decent run game as well. Bro, he's balling, bro. He's good. He's blessed. Like literally, I think the past game against against San Fran, you know, it didn't really show his true talents. I think that defensive pass rush was really deadly. So it got to Tua a little bit, but as long as we got the offense rallying around him and, you know, continue to have that belief and maybe you'll protect him a little bit better, I might pick the Dolphins to win against the Chargers, bro. I might pick them.
I think I'm gonna go with Chargers. A must win game for them, man. Like I said, like what a draft class. Like Herbert, Tua, Burrow. All those guys are living up to the hype. Tua came along, jumped on the train. He's doing the same thing. And that's a sick class. Like at the end of the day, I don't know who you choose. It's also gonna come down to who wins the most Super Bowls. So far, I would say the lead is Burrow because he's been there.
Yeah.
Like last year, all the way to the championship game, they lost. And yeah, I would say he's probably in the lead right now. And this year he started off slow, but then picked it back up. So I would say he's in the lead, but like Herbert and Tua, they're right there. They just need that playoff experience, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna choose the Chargers based off of desperation. They're 6-6.
Yeah.
They can't keep losing more games. I think they have to win. It's at home.
It is at home
I
too.
think out of desperation, I'm gonna go Chargers. I think they need to win this game. You know, the Bosa needs to play well on defense. The defense needs to play well. And Herbert needs to show us, you know, he's that guy, like always. Like, you know, I mean, he needs to win this game and lead into the playoffs. So that's what we need him. Like Chargers are kind of last year they're good, but like I feel like sometimes they're like in mediocrity, like in terms of their record and the way they play. They need to put a statement here and ride this wave to the playoffs. So I'm gonna go Chargers.
I see. Like I can definitely see where you're coming from for sure, because this is definitely a must-win game for them. Especially with them being 6-6 and they're at home. But I feel like Tua also needs to bounce back from last week again against San Fran. You know, like just his performance, it wasn't reflective of his overall year performance. Again, he's been playing well even with the 3 games missed due to the concussion. He's really been balling. And I think he's going to return back to that level again. He's being voted as he's again top in Pro Bowl votes for a reason, because he's actually having that good of a year. I'm sure that he'll get back right on track. We just need the old line to protect him. You know, if we can protect him from Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, I'm sure we can make noise. We just gotta again leave it in the play caller's hands, right? Of McDaniel's hands. I'm sure he's going to put Tua in a good position to win this game, make, you know, the right throws, you know, get Tyreek Hill involved, Jalen Waddle, of course, give the ball to Raheem Mostert. Or actually, is Raheem Mostert hurt still?
He is playing, I think.
Okay, so hey, we have him, right? We got some speedsters. Again, this offense is you know, a big play waiting to happen. I'm sure Miami can dink and dunk, or they can toss it over LA's heads and make this happen.
Yeah, I'm counting on them. Like I said, like they have to win. They don't have a choice. Herbert needs to play well. His stats are similar to the 2 of this year as well.
Yeah, it is. Their stats are really similar, and I feel like this game also is going to be another proving point for Tua to show that, hey, you know, he was picked ahead of Herbert for a reason. You know, Bear people are thinking that, you know, Tua is picked too high because of, you know, the trajectory that both QBs have had it within their career so far, right? Herbert has shown a lot of superstar potential from day one. Tua, it took him a while. So I feel like Tua has things to prove. You know what I'm saying? He has to show, you know, I was that guy. You know what I'm saying? They picked me for a reason as well too, and this is the way to prove it. I feel this is really the tale of 2 quarterbacks, and I'm excited to see it, bro. I think Dolphins got this, but we don't know.
Yeah,
This game is really a toss up for real. I feel like I'm definitely more confident in the Bills and Jets game, bro. I'm gonna say it like that.
I think I won the last 2 weeks, bro.
I think you did
Quietly,
too.
quietly, because we haven't had a podcast after. But I think I won the last 2.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to pick to really win, bro, right now. Still trying to get back in in the win column. So but
Yeah,
yeah,
so let me.
shout out to you, yo. You making a little comeback, but we're gonna make sure that it stops, it ends here. So um next game. What do you think about the Browns and the Bengals? I feel like that's a little interesting, even though Deshaun Watson did not play well in his first game starting.
Yeah,
It's just I feel like he has a lot to prove too, and I feel like, of course, because it was his first game back, he just wasn't in rhythm yet, and it may take that time. So maybe this extra week, from last week, from his first start to this week, maybe he has, maybe, I don't know, developed more comfortability within the offense, more chemistry with the guys. I don't know. Maybe he plays much better and gets a win against the Bengals. I might go with the Browns in this game.
yeah, I forgot. That makes such a difference. Like when you look at the Browns, no, that's an L. They're losing. Like, and no shit to Brissett. He's actually kept them afloat, right? They're 4-7 by the time Watson came in. So
Mhm,
he kept them in possible playoff contention, not completely out. You know what I
mhm.
mean? They have the defense, like you said. Texans, I mean, that was a rough game because he came back to the team he came from.
They came from. There was
Had
a
the
lot of
witnesses,
booze and all
had the
that.
witnesses in the front row, and like I don't know type of things they had there, bro. But like, I think there's a lot going on that year. I think
Yeah, I think it messed with his head still.
it's a difference maker. Like now that he's on the Browns, now you're thinking you got to think twice now. Like, oh man, like who you pick? He's not a regular guy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So if he comes out balling, man, you're gonna go Browns. I'm gonna go Bengals. I think.
Jeez. I like to see it. I like the difference in opinion. I mean, they're saying in the matchup predictor that, Cincinnati's gonna take this. Well, and Burrow's been playing well too. I can't take that away from him.
Hmm.
I mean, they came off a pretty nice win against the Chiefs. That was their last game, right?
This is a must-win game for the Browns. So, I mean, both teams they have. I mean, Bengals want to keep winning, and the Browns they have to. They have to win.
Yeah. I feel like this is going to be a really good game for sure.
Man.
But I mean, I can see the Bengals winning this one too because again they're coming off a high. Really, they seem to be the Chiefs' kryptonite, yo. The way that and again, just getting a win against the Chiefs is not easy. So you're definitely coming off of a high from that W.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes can't crack the code when it comes to them, bro. And Joe
That's a
Burrow
fact.
seems to play his best football when it's against that man. I can only see him having that momentum and playing well against the Browns too. But I feel like this is Deshaun Watson's coming out party.
Mm.
It's not the first game against the Texans. Too much things were messing with his head. Again, like you said, I think, yeah, there was the witnesses in the front row in that stadium. He was coming into a whole bunch of boos. Press conference, basically everyone's asking him about his allegations, the case still. It's all messing with his head. But I feel like
Yeah.
this game he may be more grounded and more focused and let me play back to the potential that I was playing at when I was at the Texans. Let's get back to it. It could be a special game where we see Deshaun Watson like, yo, this is the reason why they paid him that whole heap of money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with the Browns, bro, just for this. Just for this.
All right, it's gonna be good to watch. I think all games are gonna be
It's a
down to
pretty
the
good
wire.
week, right?
I think even the Jets, if Mike White plays, if he starts balling out, tough against the Bills defense, but if he's balling out, it's gonna be another tight game. So I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I mean, those are 3 games for the week. Definitely excited. Some other tight games, Bucks 49ers. Some other games, Eagles Giants could be okay, good game, but the Eagles, like you said, they're on a roll. So I mean, that's our
Yeah,
three
I
games
think
for the
Eagles
week,
got to
man.
take that one.
Yeah, but those are some good games too to watch as well. NFL season heating up. towards the end of the season, there's not that much games left. I believe we're already like 12 games. Depending on the team, you're either 12 or 11 games in. So that's either 6 or 7 games left. So I mean, the season's almost done now. This year is flying by. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe it, bro? But I love it, bro. This is what better time, bro? What better time? You
And
know?
really, yeah, and be the NFL that you don't know who's gonna win. Like usually, this
Yeah.
is one year. Like it's weird, bro. Like who's winning this year? Everyone, oh, the Eagles gonna win. I'm not so sure, but like I think it's up in the air, dog. Like people are
It's
saying
up in the air.
Vikings. I'll never pick the Vikings, but people are saying the Vikings might win. I'm like, oh, really? Like
Whoa.
it's that up in the air? Like I feel like it's anybody's year.
Yeah, I
But
mean they're saying Dallas got it too. You know what I'm saying? People are saying Dallas got it this year. So and usually we ain't picking Dallas, bro. But but they say it's their year too, bro. I mean, they're playing well enough too. It's really up in the air, bro, in the NFC. Um, AFC as well, bro. I don't know who's coming out the AFC.
yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think the team's gonna win come out of the AFC. I think it's Bills or Chiefs. I mean, I would pick the Bills if you want to say who you want to pick towards the Super Bowl. I think it'd be the Bills, maybe. But yeah, it's still up in the air. It's still up in the air.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We'll see, man, as we get down to the wire and we see, how things unravel and how who makes it out. We'll see. It's interesting. Again, looking forward to it, my bro. Also looking forward to where Odell Beckham is going to end up. But the news that recently came out about his knee and him possibly not being ready toward the end of the season and possibly not being ready until deep into the playoffs may hinder him being signed this year, or I mean, at least before the end of the season. So I don't know where we're going to see him end up. I'm hoping wherever he ends up, it's an ideal situation for him and a long-term contract, as what he's hoping for. But man, it would have been nice to see him, do another LA type thing, where he gets onto a team late in the season, and then helps them throughout the playoffs and, toward a Super Bowl. But man, I mean, like, the thing about the ACL injury, bro, the recovery time is not a short time. It's not short, and especially with it being the second ACL on the same knee. And Odell is on the other side of 30 now, so it's hard. It's hard, bro. But I'm hoping for the best for when it comes to him, though.
Yeah, I don't get. I mean, it came out like 3 weeks ago. He was healthy 100%, and then they're saying like now like he can't do everything. He's not a full participant in all drills or all. He's not 100% ready.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I guess he just got cleared to play, but he's not like, it's coming off a big injury. It's kind of like, gotta take your time. So I think whoever signs him is a team that might go deep in the playoffs. Bills, you know, Chiefs, Cowboys. But other than that, like he might get signed for next year, even like in the offseason. So we'll definitely see where he goes. And hopefully he did get pick up at the end of this year, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it seemed like it was for sure Dallas, but Dallas was the one to leak the information about his health status. I mean, he already had visits with the Giants, and I believe he had a visit with
Bills.
the Bills, I believe, and none of that information was leaked. So it's funny that the Cowboys decided to leak that information and tell everybody like, hey, like this man's not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's kind of sus. I don't know if it's because the Cowboys are trying to, get him for cheap, if that's what it is, but or they're just trying to justify to everyone like, yo, like this is the reason why we're not gonna sign him.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know, but it
yeah.
just sucks to hear, you know what I'm saying? It sucks that it came out. I was really
Definitely want to see
hopeful.
him ball out.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna defy the odds and really just like come back, and then we see Odell on the field late in the season and just balling already. Like, I mean, coming back from that injury, especially since the man he hasn't played football in a while, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna be rusty. Which team is he really gonna be helping right away? It's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now thinking about it realistically. But I hoped for the best. You know what I'm saying?
Man, right? Y'all can drop in the comments where y'all think Odell's gonna land. In the end of the season. We think it's out of Cowboys, Bills, Giants, Chiefs. Let us know where you think he might end up. Definitely want to see him ball out. One of the better talents in the NFL that isn't playing right now. Yeah, and that's we talk about everything already. Talk about the main topics, the games coming up. We haven't talked about, man. Maybe we can before that podcast we talk about Deion Sanders a little bit. He moved from Jackson State to Colorado. That's been a big topic in the football world because everyone's saying he might be a sellout. I don't think he's a sellout. I think, he brought a lot of attention to the HBCUs when there wasn't. A lot of top players didn't even want to go to HBCUs because of lack of funding, resources, etc. And he brought a lot of attention and hype to the HBCUs, especially Jackson State. He had a crazy record, I believe like 27-5 his first 3-4 years there. And everyone's like, he won't jump to a big school, he's all about Jackson State. But Deion, he never said he was going to retire there. He never said he was retire there. He said that from the jump. If he gets offers to bigger programs,
he'll entertain it. That's what he said.
That's what he did. He went to Colorado, and Colorado have all resources. He's able to bring his son. I don't see the press conference he did with the Colorado team when he walked in there. He said like, I have dogs coming. It's like also Shedeur Sanders will be the starting QB. He said that in the room to the Colorado.
He said he'll be the QB, but he has to work for it though.
I was like, this man is wild. But yeah, what do you think about that move?
Yeah, bro. I feel like anyone who had a thing to say about Deion Sanders' decision to go to Colorado is like a fake woke, fake pro-black person.
Yeah.
Because Deion Sanders has actually done a lot for HBCUs, probably more than what any of us or anyone in America who had something to say done for HBCUs. Again, he brought a lot of funding to Jackson State, got them new uniforms, got them means of transportation to their games, like the Power 5 schools, the ways that they have things, the luxuries of that they have, the facilities that they have at their school. He brought that to Jackson State. He brought that notoriety to them as well. He did his job. He basically did what he needed to do for HBCUs and for Jackson State in particular. So him deciding to move on for more money, do you, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you? It also, again, just not only in addition to the money, it gives you more notoriety, adds to your coaching resume to say that you're coaching at a Power 5 school. The potential to turn around that program as well is there, right? Because Colorado hasn't been too good in a while. So, bruh, like Deion said, is just another stepping stone, bruh. He's done a lot for HBCUs more than what well, I mean, we're Canadian, so we're not really in this, but more than what a lot of Americans or pro-black Americans can say that they've ever done for HBCUs. So support that man in what he's doing. Support him at Colorado. And I mean, bro, like just enough respect to that to him, bro. I can't say anything bad about it. Shout out to Shedeur as well. This also gives Shedeur more of an opportunity to be looked at by the NFL, right? He's gonna basically be competing against, in the Pac-12, right? So it is Colorado's in the Pac-12, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely is gonna give him a different level of competition, right? To help his case, for being a quarterback in the NFL. And I'm sure Deion's going to be bringing a whole other heap of guys, and it's going to help with recruiting as well to Colorado. So, bro, shout out to him, bro. And I'm just hoping that, based on what Deion has done, maybe he's left behind a nice blueprint for Jackson State. So, whoever's stepping in, whoever just it helps the program moving forward. Maybe encourages other former NFL players to also coach at HBCUs as well, right? Because it shows that Deion was able to do that and be successful, and look at where he's at now. Maybe it promotes that, and it helps more funding toward those programs as well. I think this only helps, you know what I'm saying, HBCUs moving forward as well. So I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say about it.
I mean, I think it was like a great move, like you said, and also like the stuff he did, like stuff that I didn't even mention, like he gave out already half his salary to the team and give it back. He funded like personal his like the locker room, when they said their travel, he said even their food, they didn't have, really good like, athlete class food. He funded that, you know what I mean? Like I heard like, when they didn't have water, because Jackson, Mississippi has a lot of issues with tap water not being
Yeah,
healthy.
facts.
Out of his whole own personal pocket, you know, water bottles like all year round, providing that. Like he funded so much stuff on his own. That's like, damn, he already gave back so much. He said he brought in major companies to sponsor the team.
Yeah, Under Armour.
Like that. And he brought in Under Armour and like ESPN called Game Day was there. Like the stuff that he did, like, come on, he did it all. He did it all there. Like, you know what I mean? And they still lacked resource. They still lacked a lot of the issues that, it's just gonna take a lot of time. So he started that process. Somebody comes back in, they build on top of that, right?
Exactly.
He said, like, definitely, like, I think it's a big move by him. First time ever a Black head coach went from an HBCU, or any head coach in general went from an HBCU to a Power 5. So, I mean, he's doing history, breaking history right here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I think he's gonna bring a lot of talent to Colorado, like his son, but transfer portal players that want to just play for Deion Sanders. So I'm really excited for him to see what he does at Colorado. I think he'll do big things there, right? And the ultimate goal is for him to probably be at Florida State or probably coach NFL, maybe, right? So
yeah,
definitely so.
big things ahead, bro. I'm excited to see what the future holds. And yeah, man. Shout out to you, Dion, man. Salute to you.
Prime
Don't
time.
listen to the haters, man.
Prime time.
All right.
Oh
Coach
man.
Prime.
Talk about everything, man. We dropped in all the hot topics, all the gems, our picks for the week. So I appreciate everyone listening here. Hope you all enjoyed the podcast. So we'll try to do more regularly and bring you, all this great insight, join us on this journey and like and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Do exactly that. Like and subscribe. Please comment. Thank y'all for supporting and taking the time out to listen. We appreciate y'all. Stay blessed.
All right. We out.
Yes, sir.